How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffle It's your boy with the biggest tits in the city, back again with a brand new video, guys. Today, we're going to be covering Pokemon Sword and Shield. We're going to be talking about what the legendary Pokemon in this game are going to be based on. Now, so far, we do not know much, besides the fact that in the games, we have these two logos, the Pokemon Sword logo and the Pokemon Shield logo. We're going to be discussing these, what the legendaries could be based on, and all that stuff. And joining me for this is going to be my home dog, Dead Man with Shoes. Say hi to the people, my friend.
What's good, YouTube? It's
Hey,
me, Dead Man with Shoes.
Hey, dude, let's go, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, me and him have been sitting through for about 6 hours, something like that, I think, watching the direct, waiting for it, dissecting it, talking about it. There's a million things right now, guys. I'm going to have so many videos, so do make sure to subscribe and all that. We're going to talk about everything. So, the first thing we're going to do in this video is to talk about what the legendary Pokemon in this game is going to be, or deep legendary Pokemon are going to be based on and what they are going to be. And the first thing we're going to start from, of course, is going to be the logos. Now, the logos give us an early indication on what potentially this could be, which would be two wolves. Now, how do we know this? Well, they literally have a wolf as a pummel right here on the sword, and a wolf as a pummel, I guess, on the shield, or just, like, sticking out of the shield. It's kind of weird. But we're assuming there's going to be wolf-based Pokemon, like wolf-based legendary Pokemon. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think it's going to be wolves? I mean, based on this, it seems like the most likely, opportunity or thing to be.
Yeah, for sure. And what we were surprised at the first sight, right, is that they're very similar, like it's exact copy of there's two wolves. So we did do some diving and checking out, and we did find a story that is very, very interesting.
Oh yeah.
And
we found a few things that make a lot of connections to what these could be. Now, you do need to realize something, guys. The region that we are looking at here is basically an upside down version of the UK. Okay, this is the UK upside down. It is England, basically, right? So it's going to include, English mythology, Welsh mythology, Scottish mythology, that sort of stuff is going to be included here, so do keep that in mind. And since it's based on this, it does mean that basically the legendary should also be connected somewhat to the mythology of this part of the real world, which I think is very likely. Now, of course, that's what I think, that's what we are theorizing here, but it could be different. So, let's get down to the actual business here. There are three things here that can be connected to where these, what these wolves are. The first thing here is Black Dog. So we're going to talk about Black Dog is here. If you want to read this, I'm going to link it down below for you guys to check out. But Black Dog is a ghost within, the mythology, British mythology, so to say. And we're going to read through the actual article here real quick, or the Wikipedia post, saying, a Black Dog is a special or demonic entity found primarily in the folklore of the British Isles. The Black Dog is essentially a nocturnal apparition. Some of them shapeshifters, and are often said to be associated with the devil or described as a ghost or a hellhound. Its appearance was regarded as a portent of death. It's generally supposed to be larger than a normal dog and often has large glowing eyes. It is something associated with electrical storms, such as Black Shooks, appearances at Bungay and Suffolk, and also with crossroads and places with executions and ancient pathways. So, there are a few things that are mentioned right here. For example, the fact, of course, this is a dog, so it isn't really a wolf, and the ones that we see here on the pummels do look like wolves, more or less, right? But it could also be dogs, really, when you think about it, right? Anything's possible. But do notice one thing, though. They mention here, it's associated with electrical storms, such as Black Shooks. Now, this relates back to another thing that we've seen, actually, and this comes from something totally different. So this is something that was in the trailers, which you guys probably haven't seen. Let's just find it real quick. Here it is. So in the trailers, guys, we saw this specific image. Now, this image was basically showing a, patch of grass, or like a little hill of grass, and it has a bunch of, like, hill drawings in it, so to say. Drawings that could have been made by humans, but could also have been made by the extraterrestrial. Now, an interesting thing that you'll notice here is that this thing right here, people have pointed out that this looks kind of like Meltan or Melmetal. The tail here looks like, the kind of like the same tail that Melmetal and Meltan have, kind of looking like an antenna. And the small things down here, they're assuming these could be simply just small Meltans. Now, what you will notice is that this right here, this thing right here, this blob of, like, just smoke, is shooting out something that looks like lightning. Now, remember we just read, guys, right here they say it sometimes is associated with electrical storms. So do remember that, and also with crossroads and places with executions. So do remember that, right? Electrical storms. Seems like it connects well to that right there. There's also been a few rumors that have been going around as well, saying that there might be a connection between the legendaries in this and Meltan as well, which would make sense. I mean, Meltan hasn't been fully utilized yet, so it would fully make sense in my my opinion. But there are a few other things that we actually have. Another animal that we could, or sorry, another mythological creature that could also make a connection. But before we go to that one, I want to hear Elias's thought here, or sorry, Dead Man would choose your thoughts on this. What do you think about this, man? Like, what are your thoughts about specifically Black Dog? Do you think Black Dog is likely to be what it's based on in terms of mythology?
I mean, yeah, for sure. So yeah, we have two wolves. That's really all we know for now. And of course, nothing is confirmed to be that the wolf has to be the legendary Pokemon.
Yep.
But yes, so we have the Black Dog, and we also did have another story that is very interesting. It's about the Bisterne dragon.
This one right here.
Also, yeah, a British story.
Oh yeah.
Where it's a tradition. Is that a dragon has a den at Burley Beacon, about 3 miles of Bisterne at Burley, and several versions of the tale. But yeah, so the interesting part about this is that in order to kill the dragon, a valiant knight, usually named Berkeley in this case, it says, built a hide and with 2 dogs laid in wait. So what we've speculated a little here is that we think that the knight is the player,
Yep.
and with that wields either the sword or the shield, and then the rival might be the one carrying the opposite, whatever it's shield or weapon,
Oh yeah.
sword.
Yeah.
And with the 2 dogs laying in wait. So I think the 2 dogs will be the legendary Pokemons of the versions, and it will be Black Dog. And for the other one, you might want to.
Oh yeah, I'll get into it. So to basically reaffirm all this, the Bisterne dragon is basically to be killed, as Deadman just mentioned. To just kill this thing, you need to have 2 dogs, or this person, this valiant knight, used 2 dogs who lay in wait to get it, right? Which means also that the Bisterne dragon could be our 3rd legendary, you know what I mean? The 3rd legendary in the game. Which Pokemon always has, right? When you think back on like X and Y, you had Yveltal and Xerneas, and then what was the final one again? Help me out here, brother. I can't remember.
Sun and Moon?
No, X and Y, 3rd legendary. I can't recall.
Zygarde.
Zygarde, thank you so much. So yeah, you know what I mean, they do 3rd legendaries all the time. So the Bisterne Dragon could be the 3rd legendary here to be taken down by the 2 dogs, so to say. Now, there is another animal besides Black Dog, which could be one of the legendaries, or the overall legendary, because I think there's a way that this one, like there's, 2 dogs, but they're basically interchangeable, but maybe just have different typings to them, which we'll also talk about what we think about typings and what typings they could be in a second. But, here's one of them, actually, that we just mentioned, one that it could be based on, which is Gwilgi. Now, this is from Welsh mythology, and we'll read through what the entry here says, which is, think of this creature as the fairy dog's, a demonic, scarier, and darker cousin. All of Britain has legends of black dogs that portend certain doom, but Wales has a much better title, the Dog of Darkness. As with all scary, black, ethereal dogs, they are said to haunt lonely country roads and scare the living daylight out of travelers. The dog's appearance is said to be a dark omen, but isn't that obvious? Why would you assume a demonic hound with night black fur was anything but bad? So, we're thinking that it's going to be, 2 legendaries, both of them being based on, the black dog mythology, and both of them being somewhat like wolves or dogs or whatever, but we think that they're going to have totally different typings. Now, I personally thought they could go with something very generic, which, one of them is like, a dark, fire type, and the other one's like a dark, I don't know, maybe a dark ice type, something like that. I mean, that's what I thought. But I think, your boy here, Deadman, has a way better theory. So put it out there, man. Let him know. What do you got in mind?
I think that the Black Dog. So I don't think I'm very interested because I think Wilgie, it has the name, but Black Dog we don't know yet, and of course nothing is confirmed yet. So we do not know whether this is accurate. But Black Dog fits very well with like a ghost and electric type.
Yeah.
So, because associated with electrical storms, and since this, from my understanding as well and yours, this dog, the Black Dog, is more spectral than Gwilgi.
Yeah, it is, and that's why I also mentioned the image we showed earlier, the one right here, guys. You'll notice that this, like, right up here, and I'm gonna remove my face cam real quick so you guys can see how this, like, orb up here, like, see that? that looks like a spectral like cloud. You know what I mean? It looks far more like a spectral cloud than anything else. And it's mentioned right here. The black dog is a spectral or demonic entity found primarily in the folklore. So think about it. It's a spectral demonic entity, and it also has associations with electrical storms. I mean, literally, look at this. It looks like a spectral, like, just goo, so to say, and you got, like, you know, electrical things just coming out of it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. It may just be me, but I think this could be what we're looking at, right? I think this is what the legendaries might be. 2 dogs. But I don't know about typings, though. So, I'd love to know, Elias, what do you think about typings? In terms of typings, what could each one of them be? If there's 2 dogs, are they exactly the same, or are they 2 different ones? And what do you think in terms of typings? Let me know your thoughts on that, man.
Yeah, no, I think for sure that Gwilgi is a dark fire type, since it has fire breath,
Yeah.
and the glowing red eyes. And it's also an interesting fact is that they both have very strong light for the eyes. See,
In the logos,
yeah,
you'll notice in the logos they're very potent. To be frank about it.
It is. I see in a black dog. It is generally supposed to be a larger than a normal dog, and often has large glowing eyes. Same as the Gwilgi, but Gwilgi is more associated with fire.
Yeah.
While black dog is more ghostly and so definitely interesting concept of 2 legendaries here, and it's a lot more darker, a darker theme than we've seen previously in the legend.
True. I mean, there was like Evettle was pretty crazy though, but this is definitely a very dark theme, like very dark theme on the legendaries, if they are truly based on these things. But it feels like these were the most they make the most sense, especially with the Bisterne dragon. This could tell us what the 3rd legendary is. I mean, it could be a dragon type that has to be taken down by the other 2. And think about it: if one of them is a fire dark, and the other one's like a ice dark. Hypothetically, it would be really cool because those together should definitely be able to take out a dragon type. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just a theory, though. But we do think they are based on this mythology, and we do think there's going to be 2 of them wolves because it would also make sense with the story here of the Bisterne dragon and how it's taken down by the valiant knight. So, yeah. Anything else? A very
interesting thing here, that if this is true, so another very interesting thing is that a rival, that because I think the rival is going to be very key in because the rival is going to have the opposite dog, depending on what version you have, and then beat the Bisterne dragon, and the rival will be named Berkeley, because due to the legend, the knight is usually called Berkeley. So it's a lot more very interesting.
Ooh, you're right. What if they actually do end up naming him Berkeley? Then that would confirm this theory, right?
Exactly.
That would be awesome, man. Yo, guys, that's going to be the end of the video, though. I think we've gone through majority of what we wanted to for this one. If you guys did enjoy the video, drop a like down below, and thank you so much for watching, guys. Let us know in the comment section your own theories and stuff. This theory was thanks to the viewers. Combined the viewers and my, our effort together, we were able to put together this theory. I remember, like, reading about the black dog thing before we even knew about Sword and Shield earlier today during stream, before we even knew about the games, what they were. And I read about that, and it reminded me when I saw the logos. I was like, oh, it's got to be that. And then the viewers, together with that, found the Gwilgi as well as the Bisterne dragon. It's amazing. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. A big thank you to my boy here for joining me, dude. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the end of the video. If you guys did enjoy, then drop a like down below, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.